Uh, I'm kind of freestyling this, but so we're in the last little bit before we start shipping VRM avatars to Hyperfy. It's been a great journey, pretty much just like learning VRM from scratch, figuring out how all of that works. Um, yeah. Um,
Sweet.
yeah, it's so yeah, we got it working in VR. The tracking's not perfect, but I mean, we can just keep improving it. Um, it's been great, like just figuring out how Viseams work, shape keys and stuff like that. It's all pretty new to me, but managed to figure out how to get it to work. Um, yeah, I don't know. Does anyone have any questions? Like,
I don't want to put you on the spot, but we talked about uploading recently, and maybe we could like talk about the best way to do that.
yeah, so
And
like I'm kind of trying to follow in VRchat's footsteps because I mean they've kind of like riffed on this for a while now, and they've kind of got something really good going on. Basically, like because Hyperfy runs on like mobile phones and standalone Quest VR, you've got this issue of like performance, and the fact that it's on the web as well is just like a big issue. But VRChat has this thing where basically, like on Quest, your avatars will get given like a rank or a score, and if they don't, if and each user kind of has the ability to choose what they want to show, so they're not like I don't know. It's kind of nice that VRChat aren't basically saying, "Hey, these are the specs that you have to adhere to." Um, like you have to have this many polys and whatever. They kind of like reverse that onto the users and say, you can show the 500 megabyte avatars if you want to, but like it's gonna crash your system basically if your computer can't handle it. Um, and so I don't know. It's just kind of like it's a good power play and role reversal. I think I got something up here. It's like they've got. I think by default you start with like a medium, so you can view everything up to like 15K polys on an avatar, and then if you can't view that, it'll show some weird robot. But I thought that was really cool. So I'm gonna be implementing something that's quite similar. I think I'll follow like in their footsteps quite closely, and basically just say that by default everyone will be able to see everything that's up to a medium quality. But if you don't care about mobile and you're on your computer, you can turn that off completely and just show all avatars, and it doesn't really matter.
This one's made by Roy, right?
yeah, how many polys did you get this down to?
This one's down to, I think it was like 10K, and one texture. It's about 5 megabytes. It's definitely like if you get a little close, you can start to see some weirdness, but like, people aren't getting up this close, right?
Do the Viseams work?
Yeah. Well, I got blink and stuff going. I need to hook the audio up to the actual Viseams, but that'll be coming pretty soon as well. But yeah, no issues. So I just did a test this morning. Basically, on your mobile phone, you can have like I tested up to I think it was eight people in VR on mobile, on desktop, and even on Quest 2 standalone in the web browser, it was running at like 72 FPS. No issues in this world. I think more than anything, it's going to be the worlds that drag things down. Like the avatars, they're only like 10K and one texture. It's fine.
I mean, we got a stress test, right?
Yeah, we do. We do. Yeah, it's going good. I'm optimistic.
I have a question to when I think default Vroid Studio exports like 8 textures and you can get it down to 2. Do you know like how much of a difference that makes if people were to start like optimizing
It makes a
specifically
huge
textures?
difference. Yeah, if you leave it on the default Vroid settings, it's crazy. I mean, it's fine for desktop, right? But if you want it to work on mobile and stuff, it's just like it's way too heavy.
Yeah, I feel like
Do you have any
I feel
clips
like
of
it.
VR mode?
Of what?
VR mode. Do you have any clips of VR mode?
Not easily accessible.
Okay.
They could just literally join this world. Never mind. I just smashed my controller.
Okay.
I heard that.
We can just drop something into chat. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll drop some clips. It's good. I mean, you'll be able to try it out for yourself. gonna be launching like this in a day or two.
You know what would be cool? Like having some sort of random hair or something like that so that users can be told apart, kind of like with Gravatar. You get what I mean?
Like Gravatar.
Like some sort of random hashed hair or some face feature so that people can tell users apart, even if they're using the default avatar.
I think they'll have
yeah,
an
right.
image, like a profile picture or something.
Yeah.
No, I mean like making the procedural or random hair to tell users apart even if they are turned around or something like that.
It's a pretty good base. That base looks very moddable, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Like it also looks very hyperfied. Roy did a great job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely awesome. I love it. It's great. He did good. Yeah, I think like what we could do is probably just make that open source as well. Like, you know, if you want to riff on it or something, go for it. Yeah, randomized here and like randomized traits, just like it'd be fun. Be effort involved in doing it though.
Or some sort of like just a random picture with some random color as a crown or something like that. Because if there's like 3 users and it's hard to tell who is who, I think.
Yeah, with the previous avatar we had, the like little robot guy, he had the TV screen that you could put like a picture on. Cool if you could just do that on your t-shirt on the VRM or something. But I'm not sure how you would do that.
Oh, if you can send me the model, I can try some ideas, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or I do it. Yeah. Anyway, cool.
I would like to. I'm not really in a great space to do that right now. But it would be great to show where that's. I mean, I can show a screenshot of it, and talk about it. Sure. Let's see. What do I want to do? Do I want to just? Should I open it? Cool.
All right, I'll go into VR.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah. So we've got an npm package for Mesh Baker, which does some atlasing. And I'm adding the. I mean, it would be nice if it was a GLTF transform plugin, and maybe that's the next place to go. With what? Cool. Let me see. I've got one right here. That looks like the one where I forgot some of this stuff. There we go. Nope, not that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the right image. Perfect. You found it better than I did. So I'm asking the Webiverse team kind of what do they want? You know, do we want to be able to preview animation? Do we want to see bone names and bones and different things about that? but the main focus right now is just on textures in the model. And also something that a user could really simply like, okay, drag and drop your model in, press process. It takes all your textures, it atlases them down into one texture. And it takes all your models and it meshes them down, or sticks them all down into a single mesh. We have somebody working on opacity right now too. So, or like, transparency as a separate layer. So you can have transparent stuff that's separate from your opaques, and that way you get like 1 or 2 draw calls, or whatever the equivalent draw calls are out of your avatar, instead of like 10 or 20, for example. So there's definitely some tools that still need to go in there, but I think that for a lot of stuff, this could be like totally skipping the Blender or Unity round trip for a lot of people, which is kind of the goal. And then we can also have like a send to wherever button or mint to my wallet or whatever we want. The main thing that I wrote was the atlaser, mostly just like finding some other people doing it and being like, oh, well, that's really simple. I just basically took all the canvases and calculated the offsets and drew them on there. So it's nothing super fancy, but I'm working on an importance setting. So you could say like, oh, the body should have double the screen space as the hat, for example. And that'll change, like you give it a bit better optimization. And there's also we're looking, somebody did a 3JS to X Atlas thing that is compatible with mesh with GLTF transform. So you might actually be able to just do like a full on redo your UVs, rebake the texture, with ideal UV points, and actually get like a really nice single map, evenly sampled texture would be like the final stage of this. So anyway, I get the idea. I think we're definitely going to drop this as something for open source, and probably make a Webiversity version, and people can do whatever they want with it. But the mesh maker is already an npm, and I've got to do a couple of fixes, but you should be able to import this into a Node project or an HTML project, like off of npm. Cool. Is that it?
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome breakdown. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I kind of see like with Boom Tools, like exporting these VRMs, would it pipe into this?
Yeah, but honestly, this is basically a JS recreation of what Meshbaker does. And so with Boom Tools, like I think we would probably, like, if you're not interested, if you're just like, I need this tomorrow, screw open source, you can just get Meshbaker and like solve this problem, because Unity has everything. But we could also pretty easily write the same. Now that I like know how to do it and understand what's going on, it would be pretty trivial for us to write a similar atlaser, or even find something on GitHub that's like open source that we can use. I know there's a bunch of stuff for Unity, and then just put it into Boom Tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they have to be the same. I think it's just like we're trying to get users some users are going to be coming from VRchat, or know Unity and feel comfortable with it, and gonna be like, sick VR, Unity version. And a lot of users are going to be like, I don't know, I can't do that, I can't download that. And so just having like a website where they can drop something is helpful. I mean, I have Blender, I have all these tools. I still end up using GLTF viewer and GLTF report and stuff all the time.
Yeah, this saves so much time. Drag and drop tools for optimizing is a game changer. And I
Yeah.
would optimize so many things by hand, and GLTF reports like, kind of open my mind to like, oh, this is better, like if just there is like tools in which it was easy for any artist to kind of do this, then we would have better performance, a better like less download time. Just everything would improve around the whole metaverse. I think to have this kind of
Yep. Well, practically speaking, I think if we want to have equipping, like the ability to change your armor and those kinds of things that are like we experiences that we definitely take for granted in an MMO where everything is super optimized. But once you get into UGC land, changing your armor is a whole other technical requirement, because now you've got to render the armor and whatever's underneath the armor, or whatever. And so if we could have baking tools, so when you do the equip step and like set up your character, because that's it only happens every time you get like a new sweet piece of gear usually. then we could have that bake step happen, and that way those of us in the browser have, are continuously generating a new optimized version of our character. And so I think that having tools like this that devs can use, so they don't have to reinvent the wheel, is probably a big part of that.
Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I'm stoked for this.
Coming soon.
Yeah, this is going to be great for the web, especially more than anything.
Yeah, I think performance settings, would make people feel good about this, and just like a future request is something like Spoke's performance check to kind of upon import and export, because think about how people talk about this tool to their friends, like, yo, like, yeah, that avatar is like way off, what the recommendations are, like they drag and drop and it kind of checks against VRchat's guidelines and kind of does like the rating system with green, yellow, red. And then like upon export, you just see all green, boom, dopamine.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I also think, then your friends like, hey, my avatar isn't working. You're like, well, can you just like drop it and tell me what it, is it green? Like, no, it's not green. Okay, well then you gotta fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a great feature. Basically, I think the end state of this, what we're gonna do with Webiverse is just basically copy every feature of GLTF report plus all the baking and optimization stuff. And there's a really cool feature in GLTF report actually where they have custom scripting. You can actually, like, if you look on the side, the little code tab, you can even run custom pipelines to optimize your stuff.
Drop something in here. Just grab
yeah.
GLB. Oh God, what did I put?
Oh, sick.
It's OM.
OM.
Yeah, so it's just OM, the whole world. And there now you can see it's very similar. You can peep all the textures, all the light maps, very cool. But check out the top tab.
Yeah.
This actually lets you run custom optimization pipelines and export from right here.
This is what I like. I like BAM.
Yeah, I like this. This is really cool. So anyway, you see where we could go with this. GLTF report is not open source, although GLTF transform, which powers it, is. This is a Monaco editor. That's also open source. Every piece of this is open source. So we're just going to basically make one of these that is does the baking and is open source and can be, goes on NPM and stuff. So whatever. Or I think the other cool thing would be to just completely get rid of the mesh bake package and just make it a GLTF transform plugin. I just don't know how to do that yet, and I got it working. So,
So one of the challenges I've found doing optimizing a VRM manually is that like certain parts of the texture you want to be more high quality than other parts, and you don't want it to be like downscaled too much. Do you have any kind of solutions for that with what you're building? Like for example, the face, like a face has like more detail that you probably don't want to have, pixelated, but your body could, be a 256p texture for all you care.
I'm working on a 10K series right now. So for that, I'm doing an importance kind of thing where to make certain ones specifically larger than other ones in the map for that very reason. But it's not UGC, right? I already know. I know exactly what the pieces are, and I'm just setting these parameters as like a JSON file-ish of it. So for UGC, I think that can be harder. I think that you can definitely use a lot of heuristics that get you like 95% solution pretty easily. If you're like, okay, we'll just search for any meshes that have any weights that are the face or whatever bone, more than 0.5 thresholds, or whatever, and that's probably the face mesh. If the face mesh is separate from the body mesh, it might not be. But generally, the way you can do it, if you want uniform, is you create some sort of bounding box around your asset, and then give it that much. Use that as your weight for the UV space, and then there's some like much more advanced algorithms for evenly sampling, obviously. But the main thing is, if you care about just having a good atlas, but not like specifically the face being bigger, just having like an even atlas across everything that looks fairly good across everything. then you should really check out XAtlas, because part of the algorithm is calculating the 3D space of the asset to then figure out how big the UVs that it creates are. And XAtlas is free and it's C++, but there's a WASM version that ports to 3. And it's also good for generating light maps and stuff too.
I just optimized that 67 meg thing into 18.
Did you use MeshOpt? Oh, sick. Yeah. Yep. MeshOpt is probably a huge part of that. Does this do KTX2 compression? No, you could probably get this even smaller if you compress the textures with KTX2 and basis too. Basis.
Always textures.
Damn, that's crazy. Hold on, wait. Does it do it in this app? I'm trying to bring it in.
Yeah,
here.
GLTF report doesn't do KTX2 now.
It doesn't. It doesn't do it, right? But GLTF transform does.
Oh yeah, this. That it also does an import.
Yeah.
I should just. There's a bounty for that, by the way. If anyone wants to add that support for Blender, I know exactly the issue. There's some sample code, 500 buckaroos, right on adding MeshOpt import support for GLTF.
To add basis U KTX2 to GLTF.
No, just the Blender GLTF for MeshOpt, importing that.
Oh, MeshOpt. Oh, right. Oh, that's not too hard. I wonder if there's Python bindings for MeshOpt already. All right, that might be worth it.
I'll post the issue later, but yeah, now let's slide on. Boombox, are you here?
Yeah, I'm trying to charge my headset. I'm having some issues with my cable, man. But do you guys want to start? I'm about to load in. I have to charge it with a small cable. I could load in now, but for some reason my long link cable isn't charging the device.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got a small one, but
you gotta charge it on the wall.
Gotcha. So once the link cable doesn't actually charge it?
No, we were just talking about this.
Oh, that's freaking stupid. But all right.
Get in here.
Yeah, I'll join in then, but that's crazy. I thought it would whatever. Well, then we need a new device. That's not gonna work. Be real. But here we go. Jumping on in.
By the way, I have some breaking news from Twitter.
Breaking news.
There's a new Twitter plugin in which you can load in the results from Easy Mocap. Yeah, video from just one camera into Blender, and look at these results.
Damn.
What?
From one camera.
Is that the simple model?
Easy Mocap.
Yeah. That looks like the simple model. But that makes sense. But you can retarget that with the Rococo to just about anything real easy. With the Rococo
That's cool.
plugin.
Retarget this to anything?
Yeah, you can put that on VRoid in 5 seconds.
Damn. And it's free.
Yeah, download that shit. That shit's tight. Woof.
Importer for mocap data made with pose estimation tools. I'm going to drop this into the chat for anyone to check out. And then remap presets already for Rococo Studio Live. AutoRig Pro. Yeah. Just needed to make y'all aware of that.
All right. Well, I'm just joining the world now.
Cool. So in this next part, you are too tall. We don't use our VR studios enough, and so we were thinking that we do a show, and talk about Avatar-interop. On the screens, I have some videos ready to load on YouTube that I could drop into the chat. Oh, we got Null in here too. This means now we might, I don't know, now it's a party. We've got a lot of characters in here. We I'm gonna talk in here so my mouth moves. So if you're hearing me in Discord, you might want to take that into consideration.
Check 1 2.
Let me change some sound settings, and yeah. So this is one out of what 50 studios that we have, something like that, 100.
Pretty much, man. We got a lot of these things. I'm just changing my auto mic defaults on. There we go. All right. I want to mute your in-game world if you're in Discord, so you don't hear it double. But yeah, we made a bunch of these studios. I don't know if that turns off the video player for you guys or turns it on, but I just turned it off for me. We might be desynced, but long story short, we got video players, we got TVs, we got cameras as usual. And when you I'm not sharing my screen, but Jin's probably sharing.
I am.
Let me get a view of your screen.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I am. And then I can change my cameras. I can change my
All right.
cameras. Yeah, so I am just going through my keyboard
Yeah.
and changing it up. So
Yeah, so
with this
is our
though, like one of the things that we want to do with the Hyperfy group is also like literally kind of show it, talk about it, you know, and we can bring up clips right onto that screen there. You want to change the camera to that screen?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in this studio, so let me just get familiar with some of the things. We got 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 5, camera 6, camera 7 is the screen. And then I guess you would have to load something. And my screen's actually off. Do you want to load it? It's been a while since you've been in the studio. It's on for me now. How about you?
Yeah. So I have video. Oh, we have our favorite video loading up right now.
So this is a default video player by one of the users in VRchat. And this was an early studio we made. It had green screen, had real-time lighting, has camera cranes, 9 cameras. And overall, we used it for a couple podcasts, got in here, talked about some things. And
podcasts, if you call that,
did like
yeah, load up a video because next week is Burning Man, and I want to talk about Burning Man a little bit. So I have a video there from a montage I did a while ago. So y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, Burning Man is happening, and in 2020, the pandemic, everyone is in lockdown, so nobody could, you know, go there. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for us to do a VR Burning Man. And lo and behold, they were all into that. They called it the multiverse because there was no plan, so everybody make their own Burning Man. And so they did. You know, you had some in Wave XR, which was actually pretty cool. You know, this was a clip from the Wave XR show, in which you've had like audio reactive spaces. This one's so cool, which was audio reactive tilt brush inside of a photogrammetry, and the vibes were just
cool,
awesome in there. Like that combination of audio reactive tilt brush or open brush now is awesome. And then like VRchat is also another really cool place to have it. It's kind of like that. This was just a random world hop, you know, with a bunch of friends and a whole lot of weird characters and whatnot. So Burning Man in the metaverse would be dope. And I started, you know, really tinkering in my lab. How do we build it? How do we do this in a way to kind of bring content from all corners of the metaverse into this sandbox? So I grabbed stuff from Crypto Voxels, from Janus, from all sorts of places, and we built a VRchat world. Got the Crypto Voxels guy and a whole bunch of our friends in there, and this is Maker's District, and ported into VRchat back in 2020. You know, we could control the lighting. We were gods of this domain. You know, it wasn't like Ben Nolan and company. It was us, and this is the same one, but now in Janus Web. So all in the browser, completely open source stack. Yeah, just combining all these different things as landmarks. And if you can kind of imagine, this would be an overworld to other 3D sites like this arcade. So you could walk into a landmark to visit, you know, whatever project it belongs to. And this one, it's like arcade and with weed and pizza vending machines and watching Twitch while watching movies and just hanging out, you know? Whoa. That's kind of what I want to do. And Burning Man's kind of like a build-a-thon, right? So 7 days, they have a build-a-thon, but at night it turns into a whole other city. And that's something so awesome that, you know, if we can create a really cool night mode, the whole place just transforms. And this scan was from, you know, where you could kind of virtually projection map 3D scans, and you know, we could L-wire our avatars just by bringing them into like OpenBrush and drawing over them. So they'll attach straight on there. You export this as a GLB, and then you can have emission and turn it into a night mode avatar. And then at night mode, you know, I built basically a sort of VR exhibition space where we had all sorts of M3 projects on display, booths, and it became an event space. And we held like a mixer type of event there. And this is Boombox Head's gallery and Crypto Voxels, in which I brought it into Tilt Brush back in the time, and we drew over it as a test, and then exported that drawing out separately, and we're then able to compose it together. And then if you just scale that out to a bunch of parcels or a district or avatars, whatever content piece, then we can build a neon night city together. And it's also, this idea is inspired by Virtual Market, because we want to have things on display that kind of exhibit our projects and what we're working on. So I would love to kind of build something that merges the artistic freedom of being in this kind of open sandbox like the playa represents, as well as the serendipitous discovery mechanism that Virtual Market has. And you could, like, you know, explore this all the booths with your friends and check out all sorts of cool projects and stuff.
I love that, man. I think the nighttime world is cool. The luminescent avatars and stuff. I think it's a great idea. And bringing people together, I mean, that's a lot of people in that one shot right there. But I imagine, yeah, like over multiple worlds and just using really good sculptures, so we can really do a nice event. Music always comes to mind, but
Yeah.
you know, audio and stuff. But we'll get there. It's very important, put it that way. But we have some solutions for that. Arashi's our resident DJ. That's a cool world. That was a nice. I didn't get to see that one. The photogrammetry mixed with the audio reactive stuff. That seems like a really cool place to check out. I really like that company, Wave XR. Did they close up shop? Right? I think they closed up shop.
Yeah. Well, they stopped VR. I have this other video.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do PC now, mainly still shows. But that was an incredible experience while they had it.
They're just virtual production, pure virtual production.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. They did it. Their team is really incredible.
This video is all about Metafactory, what we working on, kind of like taking wearables, designing them digitally, getting them produced physically, and then bringing them back digital as interoperable avatar wearables. And then, you know, creating content like podcasts and stuff, like what you're doing literally right now. You've got a Metafactory wearable on your avatar. And how do you get to you?
That's right. It's crazy. I think your avatar though is the most traveled avatar across all the metaverses. It just dawned on me that maybe you've been to maybe the most metaverses in your avatar, man.
Making me feel like I need a backpack with a bunch of like pins, like of these different worlds, like places I've been.
Yeah, because in those couple of shots right there, I saw at least 5 or 6. So it's kind of like a cool thing to do. If you can get your avatar in every metaverse, it's like a, brownie points, or it's like a metaverse challenge, we like to say.
Around the world challenge.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, but with everyone at M3. I want us all to go on a great journey exploring the metaverse together with our interoperable avatars and bring gifts with us. So it's not just our avatars, but we have stuff in our backpacks. We have stuff in our carriage wagons, like the metaphor, whatever that represents, and we basically, as we make a travel stop to some platform, we spend time with the locals. We sightsee there. We connect with who's who that can show us the cool spots. We drop in there with our swag, and we also share stories and cultural gifts. And continue on our way. And make a outpost as well in there. I think that would be good.
Nice. Emotional F to enter and exit camera view.
F, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can animate cameras. You can do interesting things. We have real-time lighting rooms that we've been shooting in. It's
If
really
anyone wants to chat too, that's in this room, chat on Discord. So that's where we're recording audio.
cool. Yeah, this was one of the first real-time global illumination TVs. You can see it puts off some light into the room, but it's nothing like the LTCGI shader and what's available now. Things are getting better. Real-time lighting is getting better. Shaders are getting better, and I'm interested in that lighting and set design and cool camera rigs. I really think camera rigs, like cameras on robotic arms or cameras on cranes or cameras that can zoom and then do cool things. I think there's a whole
cameras like we're seeing.
just there's so many unexplored camera let's say techniques that you can do inside VR, because there's no gravity, and you can make incredible smart logical rigs that have never existed in real life yet.
And you can do shots that are extremely expensive in real life.
Sure. We're trying to get Touch OSC and some integration in the camera position into the world so we can do more advanced shots, like camera tracking a game engine's camera into our real-time engine and make a bidirectional sync. But we're just testing and developing that now. But there's a lot of potential to, once you start locking the cameras between the game apps, you can get parallax effects between backgrounds. You can get all kinds of interesting things going on between them. Just kind of like how they shot Avatar. If you remember, they had a previs of the world in 3D with the physical camera, but inside the game engine, they had a digital camera. It's kind of like that, but we're trying to virtualize that across with remote production.
Whoa, how did Bloom just go all the way up on you?
I don't know.
Your eyes just became glowing like white.
I got one picture of us. It's good to have y'all in here. It's good to use these worlds. We should do more. I love, getting in here and shooting these things. And I guess it's just a matter of scheduling, showing up and getting in here, and maybe once a week, just maybe do virtual production meetings inside virtual production.